Okay, so now I'm 100% sure I'm recording it to my computer. So when you start the MySQL Workbench, again, when you install my SQL Workbench, it will give you an option to create at least the root. You need the account. You need the administrative account. So the root account here will be the administrative account. Now, if I like, I can create as many, as we said earlier, we can create as many connections we want. But right now I have only one connection on my root account. So I click on it. The reason why it didn't give me the option for the password, because I opened this many times. Even today, I already opened it a couple of times. Normally to give you the option to enter your password, username. Yeah. So when we start this program, by default, everything should be empty. I'll delete everything. And also here I have so many database. I can close all of them or I can leave them. So first thing I will explain is that anytime if you want to change the view to home, you can go to home view. You can click on the panel if you want to hide anything. For example, we have outputs. If I don't want my output screen, which is the down screen here, I can click here to hide it. Let me hide it. So I can see I have more space now. If I want to hide as many, I have two screens here at least, major three ones. I can hide the sidebar also if I want to. It's up to me. But again, let me show my output area again. So first thing we do, if you want to enter our command, as we said earlier, you have to create a database. Or if you have an existing database, if I want to work on this database, I have to make sure that it's selected. So I'll just double click on it, highlight. Anything I do right now will affect only this database. And as we said earlier, there are two ways of creating database. Either we can use the command here. Okay, for example, also, if this command is closed, we can close everything, or if you can even close the connection tab. But anytime the command is closed, you can go to file, or if there's nothing, or you want to open a new one, you can click on file. And this is the query tab. So you click on query. Now, if you want to create a model, we talk about models like using the entity relationship diagram, the design of the database, creating a model. You can also create a model. You can click on new model. So here I can go to new query tab. I will have a second one. You can see two tabs are here. I have two. I can close it by clicking on the X here, or you can go back to file and close it from there. So creating my database, I can use the command here, create database. The database name, I will name it HHHH. Then from here, I can again run it. And it should run. We can click on this run button, or we can go to query and execute. Also is the same as run. Now I look at my output screen. I can see the green with a check mark, which means I'm perfect and there's no error. Let's make some error here. I'm going to put semicolon or something. Let's see. Now I put 3 semicolon. In SQL, semicolon means something to the language. So we don't use semicolons so to give a name or something. So now if I run it, I have a red with white X, which means we have an error. Now I always say if you have an error, do not worry. This is very nice application because it will explain the error for you. So I will go here and say, what is the error? I read it here, say it cannot create a database because the database exists already. Oh, okay. We already created this database. We want to create it again. The database exists. Again, but I don't use semicolons also. So to create a database, you cannot have the same two database names. So let's add two H's to it. See if that's the problem. I'll run it again. Oh, okay, that was the problem. So now I have two database now. Another option to create a database, you can right click. Again, in this course, we're going to use the SQL command always, as I said earlier. So everything we do, let's use the SQL command than using the graphical user interface. So for example, when I right click, I will click on create schema. Schema is the same as database in the language. So I click create schema. Now I have the name. So this will be the name of the database. Let's say I will name it University Bronze or anything we can think of. So that will be the name of the database. And I will set the default, everything okay, just only the name I need. So this is the same as writing a command, create database University Bronze. But I'm not using the command now. Now it's telling me to apply it. So you see the system create the script for a create schema. Again, the word schema is the same as database. Now, this is when I'm creating the database, I use lower cases throughout. But I think it's more nice if you use uppercase for the command and your name as a lowercase. So the reading will be more easy. So if I say uppercases, I know that's the SQL command and the name will be lowercase. This look nice. It's up to you. You can do everything lowercase, uppercase. So yeah, I click finish and I'm ready to go now. I have my database. So again, the first thing we do is creating the database. And we can view the database. When we create it, we look at our right side. Again, we can view it. So I'll wait for a few seconds, see if any question. Again, most of you know this already, but just to make sure we are all in the same the same page. We all understand everything. So I'm not going to waste time writing a lot of commands here. We went through select. Actually, we went through how to create a table. So if I want to create a table, also we can do. For example, this is my University Bronze here, which I created by going. We can also do the same thing. I can right click on table, then I'll click create table. Instead of writing the command, I will say create table. Then table name, this is university, so we have a student table. I'll name the table student. This table is in the database name University Bronze, so make sure the schema is the database you want to. If you have any comment, you can put the comment right here. It's up to you about the table or something. But we know that a table consists of what? Column names or the field. So the column name or field are here. Now you can enter all your column. So first I can have the column name. Let's say I will make it a primary key field. And here I name it student, ID student. Again, you can come here and change the name. This is by default. I'll change the name to student ID instead of ID student or STDI, STD, STD or STID. It's up to you. Then the data type, if it's a whole number, you can leave it as int. Otherwise, we can change it to varchar or any character we want, any data type we want to. We will go through that again in the lectures. Also, we have the primary key already selected. Normally, when you select primary key, you want to make it not known because we said the primary key field will uniquely identify each record. Not known means you cannot leave, if you enter a record, you can't leave that column empty. You have to enter something, which is very important. So we have the normally column, two major things we need is the data type of the column and the name. Now, if it's a primary key, foreign key, you have to select what options or auto. Then this one will apply. Again, we can enter as many column because a table can consist of many columns, the last name, first name, grade, etc. Also, if I want to create indices, I'll click on the indices here. Everything here, no command, no more. It's more or less like a Microsoft Access. You just enter the names, they have give you the boss. If I want to create a foreign key, the same thing. What's the foreign key name? Any relationship, you do everything. But all these things, we are learning it by using the SQL command. So that's what we're going to focus on. So again, we will discuss, and this is also in the textbook. We won't go detail about the going. We will focus more on writing the command to do the work. So if I want to write a command for this, I will say create table, the name of the table is students, so create table students. Then I'll bring a parenthesis, then I'll have the column name, the data type. If it's primary key or whatever, we have to specify it. Each column name, data type, column name. Then at the end, we can alter and then use the alter command to have a foreign key or anything we want to do. We will talk about that. If I want to enter record, we can enter record. When we run this and we have the table, we can enter the record also using the GUI. But we are going to use the command to enter the record, like using the insert command or update to update the table, drop in the table, etc. So this is a very quick, here I'm not teaching the SQL command, just a short lectures on how to use MySQL. That's what I'm focusing here. So I will make these lectures. I will even stop this before I start the regular theory. Here I want to make only this video for how, and I will name this video how to use MySQL. I think the workbench, the basic stuff. So as we said first, when you start the program, you already installed the program, everything, you have the root account. At least you have one account with a connection already. If you want to create as much connection as you want, it's up to you. You can see that here the schema is selected, so I see all my databases. If I click on the administrative, I can see my connection, the client connection, server status, everything. Users and privileges, I can set that also. And we may discuss all this, but for now, you can click on the connection and you see the client connections that, again, I used before. So again, I think that should be enough for now. As I said, if I go to schema, I can create a database, I can create table, everything, and everything we are going to use again, the SQL command here. Anything I want to do with any database, for example, I have customer 5 database, I want to create more table, I want to insert a value, I will double click on it. Then so far we haven't done the views. So function, store, procedure, views later. Actually, we will start views in module 5. Then later we'll go through the rest. But right now we're focusing on table now. How to create a relationship, the table, how to update the table, etc. So I think this is what I'm going to end. Again, you select your database. You have your tested data, your query tab area. You can enter any command you want. You can run it from the query menu. The first option, execute. Oh, we have the buttons here. Save button. If I have an existing command, I can open it from here also. Or I have an existing file. Let's say SQL source file, or we can open it and run it. So I'm going to wait for a few seconds. If no question, I'm going to stop this lecture. Again, I repeat it many times. This lecture focuses on how to use MySQL Workbench. And it's the basic. There are so many menus here. We can't cover everything one day. But the few things we need for our chapter 1 to 4 is what we have covered. Okay, so if no question.
Good afternoon, Professor. I was kind of late.
Okay, 1 second. I'm recording this. So first of all, if you have any question on this, then I'll stop the recording. As I said earlier, I'm going to put this recording I record it into my computer. I'm going to put it in my YouTube channel. Then I'll put a link on it to the classroom because I cannot download. As I said earlier, I went through the classroom option and I couldn't see it. Actually, I'll go through this in a minute. I don't want the school materials to show on YouTube. So if you have question about this first, any other question, hold on to that. Any question about the lecture CFS? Okay, so if no other question, then I'm going to stop this recording. Again, the main objective of this recording is how to use my SQL, basically how to run the SQL scripts. So I'm going to end it here for now.